Good morning, everyone. This focus group is we will tackle about the death penalty. Are you against, and if you are favor to the death penalty? So first of all, I would like to define death penalty. Death penalty is when someone is put to death using different types of method for a serious crime such as murder, rape, and drug dealing. It is also known as a capital punishment, so which comes from the Latin word capital, meaning regarding to the head. So therefore, the most common way of the capital punishment is hanging or decapitating. So many countries still practice it, like USA, Saudi Arabia, China, and many more. So here in the Philippines, they want to implement the death penalty. And now, I want to hear your opinion to the death penalty. So my first question is, are you in favor in death penalty, and why?
For me, no. I'm against in the implementation of death penalty because for me it will violate the fundamental rights of every citizen, which is the right to live. That's it for me.
Vanessa, are you in favor?
No, because if someone murders someone else, they have given their human rights, or including the one to stay alive themselves. The death penalty goes against our most basic human rights, the right to live.
You.
Yes, because it's a fact that when we look at the reality in our society, we should give justice for all the victims of murder, rape, and even drugs. They deserve justice.
For me, I'm not in favor because we have a commandments that we do not kill. So for me, it's very big things that I am against to death penalty. So do you think it is timely and relevant that death penalty be imposed to our country?
Yes, because by this time, the criminal cases in our country is growing bigger and bigger. So we should do something, and I believe it is by implementing the death penalty to reduce crime.
For me, no. I'm still against the implementation of the death penalty here in our country because I firmly believe in the essence of life, and I firmly believe that everyone has the right to live.
For me, it's no, because according to the Bible and to His 10 Commandments, you shall not kill, and let's respect and follow what God's want or rule. Mistakes are sometimes made in the law, but if someone is killed who is actually innocent.
I am, as I said earlier, I am against the death penalty. So do you think that death penalty can reduce the percentage of the criminal here in our country?
The very small chance of executing the wrong person is balanced by the benefits to society of putting off other murderers. When there are execution, violent crimes decreases, but they have also been claims that execution brutalized society because government agencies diminish respect for life when the death penalty is applied.
For me, I don't believe as we can see in the news every morning, every evening, there's murder, there's some other crime. So I just don't think it will reduce the percentage of crime.
I believe it is a yes because it will reduce crime because for me, first of all, no one wants to die. So if they know that if they commit an offense, they also know the consequence of the offense that they did, and 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 committing an offense like murder. So they should know that it can the consequences can be death penalty, and when they think that they um they they can feel they can feel that they are afraid to die. That's what I mean.
Okay.
I think even there's death penalty if someone has the intention to kill, if someone has intention to do bad things to other people, they will eventually do. Even there's death penalty.
Yes.
I believe in that.
So, doesn't the death penalty deter crime, especially the murder?
As I have said earlier, even though there's death penalty,
They're all always,
there will always be crime
Yes.
if there's the intention to do bad things to other people. I don't think that those bad people will be afraid to do crimes just
crime,
because
yes.
there's death penalty.
Yes. Another idea? Another answer? So, none. So, we know that here in the Philippines, there have a lot of crimes.
Every day.
Yes, every day. So, for me, as Ate Iloilo said earlier, if you want to do something bad to your to other people, it's it's the death penalty will not
Will it be a reason for them to be afraid of
afraid
committing
to do
crimes?
crimes. So, does the murderer deserve to die? Or that the criminals deserve to die?
No, on the contrary, for that, I think and I believe they deserve to live.
Yes.
And like for example, if my kin or my relative is murdered, and I executed that person, I don't think it will relieve my sufferings. I don't think it will relieve the pain that I'm feeling of losing someone dear to me or someone I love. I think it will just extend the agony and the suffering of the family of the condemned person. They will suffer too. So what's the essence of executing that person when I can forgive him? Because our God can forgive too. So why can't we?
Well, personally speaking, if, for example, if the one that I love murder, so it's the death penalty to the accused person is achieved. For me, it's achieving the justice for the one that he murdered. So that is why, for me, the murderer deserves to die also. Because if you, what you call that in Filipino, if you borrow something, you should pay also the thing that you
So
borrow.
you're
Just like-
insinuating an eye for an eye, a
Yes,
tooth for a tooth.
yes.
So it's not justice, it's revenge.
Yes.
It's not actually revenge for me because it's you know, I will do that by by the help of our government and our Supreme Court.
Can't you just forgive the person that that has done something bad to you and to your family?
Personally speaking, I can. Yes, I can.
For me, killer is someone who commits the crime of unlawful killing a person, especially with malice aforethought. But I think yes, they also deserve to die because, but God knows that God knows how to forgive, so we should learn how to forgive too. That's it.
So for me, if the murderer deserves to die, who am I? Who am I to
Execute.
to yeah to want them to die also? So I am like them if I want the murderer to deserve to die. So for me, it's
So,
but your answer is okay. We have different perspectives, so it doesn't matter. So isn't the death penalty necessary as just retribution for victims of families, as you said?
no, as I have said, it will just extend the sufferings and pains of the family for the family of the condemned person. Personally speaking, just like what I have said earlier, if, for example, for instance, I have somebody that I love killed, it will be painful for me. Of course, that's given. But wanting to kill the person that killed that somebody that is very dear to me, I just don't think it will give me justice. For me, forgiving him, forgiving them will truly give me peace of mind and peace in my heart and my mind. It will give me peace if I just forgive them.
Um, well, I think it is necessary for the family and especially for the victims, because by the death penalty, they can, just like what I said earlier, they can achieve the justice and the dignity for themselves. That's what I believe.
For me, like what Ate Lily said earlier, for example, if my mother get killed by somebody, it will be also very, very painful for me. And if I were, if I were the person who get killed by somebody. Yeah, I will. I don't know if I will take a revenge or I will just forgive. I will just forgive that person. But just society requires the death penalty for the taking of a life. When someone takes life, the balance of justice is disturbed. Unless that balance is restored, society succumbs to a root of violence.
So have strict procedures eliminated arbitrariness and discrimination in that sentencing? How do you think?
In our government, the people that cannot afford to pay for their, for example, the people that cannot afford to pay for their lawyer will help. The government will help them to find their own lawyer, which is not from public attorney's office. It should the government will find for them the one who can protect them.
But for generally speaking, and as we can see the current situation of our justice system here in the Philippines, I don't think so. I just don't think that there's somehow some judges are strict in procedures, but the rich families, they can just escape from their mistakes, from their
Yes.
faults, from the crimes that they have committed, because they have money. And they can just get somebody as a scapegoat, somebody to blame, somebody to accuse of the crime that they have done. They can just do that in a snap of a finger, just because they have the means, they have the money. So yeah, I don't think so that strict procedures can eliminate the discrimination in death sentence.
Because how about the poor people? That
Yes. How about the poor people that cannot afford
Afford.
to pay lawyers?
So maybe it used to happen that innocent people mistakenly executed, but hasn't that possibility been eliminated?
No, still no. Because I am always looking at the government perspective in what is happening in our surroundings here in our country. We can see every day in the news that there is someone killed that is not proven guilty. Yeah, haven't we seen every day in the news that just like that somebody is killed because they are just being accused without a fair trial, without fair due process.
But I think, I believe that the execution, we all know that before the execution of a person, there are a lot of study that the Supreme Court has to deal with before they announce that the particular person is accused. And there are evidence that will lead them to the real suspect. The evidence says the study that the Supreme Court had done, so it will lead the real suspect, right?
Maybe I'm just saying these things because of what I am seeing in our government. It's my perspective because it's what I believe, it's what I saw every day in the news, it's what I can get from the government officials speaking on the national television every day.
And our criminal justice system cannot be made fail-safe because it is run by human beings, and so who are fallible. So executions of innocent persons occur. So
For me, it is arbitrary when someone in one country or state receives the death penalty, but someone who commits a comparable crime in another country or state is given a life sentence.
yes, and so our topic is death penalty. So killing is wrong. We know that, and so two wrongs. This is my opinion. So two wrongs do not make a right. So taking a human life is unethical, whether it is a crime or whether it is done in the name of justice. So everyone's right to life should be protected by the law. So as we said earlier, including criminals. So we should aim to set the example that killing is always wrong and that there are always alternatives.
Yeah, that's it. There is always another way to give punishment to somebody that has committed crimes, that has committed bad things to other people. I believe also that there is some other way, not just killing them just because
Like
they
putting
killed
them
someone.
to jail.
Yes.
Like for
Because life in prison is not a soft option. So when you are in prison,
it's just like living another difficult phase of your life.
so it means that you totally if the person is the suspect and if he or she is in the prison, so for me, if I am the victim, I forgive him or her because we don't know what God plans for our lives. So
And I also believe that everybody has
purpose.
everybody has a chance to change
Yes.
for the better. Everybody has a chance to regret everything that he has done, whether it's wrong, it's it's a very difficult mistake.
So for you, everybody's second
Yeah,
chance.
yeah, everybody deserves a second chance in life, in everything.
But what about the news and televisions that you said that everybody has the right to live. But what about those kids, those little girl who is 5 years old, raped and murdered by some people? So what about that? It's just we're just going. He is just going to jail, and then later on he is outside of the jail and and looking for the other victims.
The other one killed.
Mm, as you said, who raped to the 5 years old because why he do this because he is under the
influence
of drugs.
drugs.
So
He's not his usual self. He is not the person that he is. He was changed because of some.
Or possessed by the drugs.
So, as we end this session, I would like to end this by the verse. It is Genesis 9 verse 6 that says, whoever sheds the blood of man, by a man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God has God made man. So this part of the larger covenant that God made with Noah after the flood. So it not only reflects the great value of human life, but also gives the reason for the value. So man is made in God's image.
Yes.
So the absolute language of Genesis 9 verse 6 suggests that all those who kill another human being must be killed. Since this mandate was given long before the Mosaic law, so to all who survived the flood, so it is in the Bible that whoever kill a man, all those who kill another human being must be killed. So if we killed some people,
We will be
It
killed
is-
somehow, but not the means of the people. But
Yes.
maybe.
and we are made by
Yeah.
God's image. So only God can
Can take away our life.
away our life, and not people. So
That's it.
and that's it. So thank you and goodbye.